Hi there, it's Nicole here with a card featuring the STAMPtember W+9 exclusive limited edition stamp set for Simon Says Stamp. It's called Humble and Kind, and it's a gorgeous floral stamp set with this fantastic sentiment. Super fun, so many ways to stamp and color these florals. I'm going to do a little Zig Clean Color Real Brush Marker watercoloring on Bristol Smooth cardstock. I have a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock trimmed to A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I've also lined up 2 of the floral images and the greeting from Humble and Kind on my MISTI, and I'm going to stamp them all with one press of my stamp positioner tool. I'm going to be doing some simple kind of, I call it faux watercoloring. This is the watercoloring that I feel like I can handle. I'm not always the best with traditional watercoloring, but I love my zigs and I love my water brush pen. And instead of doing the white embossed outline that I very, very much love, I thought it would be fun to do a gold embossed outline and then fill in the embossed areas with my watercolors. So I am embossing all of these images with gold embossing powder, and I'm kind of trying to clean off, make sure that there are no stray little flecks of gold embossing powder anywhere, and then I'm going to heat set this entire design. The greeting and the outlines all are in gold embossing. I even think that the panel would be pretty like this, maybe on a gold gilding flake type of border all the way around for an even simpler kind of elegant design. You wouldn't have to color them in at all, or you could do embossed resist over this with some distress inks or distress oxides or other inks. Lots and lots of fantastic ways to color these in. I have listed the color combinations of Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers that I'm using here along the bottom of the screen, both the number and the color name. I like to do a little mixing of a dark color first and then a little bit of a light color and then blend it out with a water brush pen. If you don't want to do the watercolor look at all, you could just as easily lay down the dark color and blend it all the way out with your light color, or even do 3 colors if you want to. I want some of that watercolory type pools of ink in each of these areas, so that's why I am using the water brush pen. Plus it gives you that nice ombre look of color. You want to make sure and clean off the tip of your water brush pen often, especially between changing colors, so you don't cross-contaminate any darker kind of ink into a lighter area. The leaf colors that I'm using for stems and leaves are 053 yellow green, that's the lighter color, with 041 light green. And really, really easy to color everything here. So pretty and so much fun. Blend these out, and then I'm going to move on to the pink flower kind of down in the bottom right corner of the screen here. This is the first color combination I'm going to use, and it's peach pink and sugared almond pink. The peach pink is going to be my little bit darker color that I'll lay down first. The sugared almond pink will be the lighter color that I blend out, and then I will use the water brush pen to blend it even further, lighten the tips of the flower petals, and get that watercolor look. So go ahead and do this for all the petals. I like to try to keep my dark color down near the bottom or base of the petal. Blend this out. Use my water brush pen. My next color combination is going to be for the purple flower. I contemplated doing all of them, maybe just doing 2 colors of flowers, 1 color of flowers, and just different intensities. And I decided to go ahead and do all flowers in all different colors. Mostly because I really love my zigs and I love playing around with different color combinations. And I think that the several colors here work really nicely for this card. Again, laying down the darker color first, blending out the lighter color, and then taking my water brush pen and blending that color all the way out to the ends of the petals. The purple colors I'm using are 082 purple and 081 light purple. I don't think that's light purple. I thought maybe it's light violet. I think maybe it is. It's light violet. And then the center of the flower is 052 bright yellow and 050. That's the yellow. And I will even pull in a little scarlet red at the very center here in a second after I color in the orangey looking flower. Now, often instead of doing orange, I really like to do scarlet red and yellows, and it creates orange. I don't know why, but I really like this color combination better than coloring with orange for most things. So this is scarlet red and then bright yellow to blend it out and the water brush pen to blend it even more. This really gives you an orangey looking flower. Blend that out, and I will go back in with some of that scarlet red color to the center of this flower as well. For the yellow flower, it's going to be a lot of similar colors except no scarlet red. It's going to be 052 bright yellow and 050 yellow only. And these blend out quite a bit, almost too much. So once I have blended and colored and watercolored these, I will go back with my 052 bright yellow and go over some of those lines and add a bit more color just so it's not quite so flat, because I really think the yellows blended together a lot and you lose a little bit of that definition that you see in some of the other flowers. At this point, the whole time I felt like it was off balance. I really wanted something else. I couldn't figure out the placement. I had played and played with the stamps. I know a lot of times you guys ask my thought process, and so I've been trying to include more of that in my videos, just any of my videos, because it differs from card to card. While I was working out in my mind, what can I do to make this seem more balanced to me? I outlined my images with the shadow mauve marker. I wanted them to just have a little bit of that outline look to help make them maybe pop off the background a little bit. But I was working out in my mind what I could do. Definitely the panel is really pretty as is. You would not have to add anything else. I just the whole time wanted a flower on the other side of that sentiment, but the sentiment is really bold. It's pretty good size. And so I went ahead and I trimmed down my panel. I knew I kind of wanted it to have 3 sides about equal size on that I could mat it on this blue violet cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. And I wanted to have a little bit of a wider border, so I was very careful, trimming down only about 1/8 of an inch on 3 sides until I got the width of the blue violet cardstock that I wanted. But even at this, it still was bothering me. I still felt like I needed something else. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stamps away, and I'm going to grab one of the stamp images and try it right here on the left side. And I'm going to kind of play with it, move it down a little bit. I want it to kind of look like it's coming in and up from the bottom, but it's really coming in from the side. But it's going to look like it's coming in from the bottom, if that makes sense. And I ended up stamping that with Versamark ink and sprinkled on my gold embossing powder. I will heat set this, and then I want to add some more color. And for me, this really just kind of rounded it out. This balanced it so much better. And once I have it colored, I really love it, especially because I purposely chose colors for this flower that complement the blue-violet cardstock that I am using to mat this panel. I had kind of happy coincidence, came across this color combination about a week and a half ago or so when I was working on another card, and it's the blue Zig Clean Color marker with the shadow mauve. And the shadow mauve is what I was using to outline all of my images and give them that nice little shadow. I really love it. I think it almost gives a blue-violet color. And it's kind of become one of those color combinations that I can see myself going back to over and over. So I'm laying down just a tiny bit of the blue. It is going to blend out quite a lot. Blending it with the shadow mauve, just like I did with everything else. And then I will go in with my water brush pen and blend this out. Now I'm cleaning the tip off a lot, otherwise I'm going to lose that nice gradation of color from dark to or light to dark, because it's all going to get dark, because that blue really is, it blends out a lot. I'll go into the center of the flower, add in some of my yellows again, my bright yellow. And that really just kind of worked for me. I think it turned out beautiful. It finished nicely. I'll outline this with that shadow mauve marker so that it matches the rest of the card. And then I want to find a way to decorate my blue-violet background. The blue-violet is really nice as is, but I felt like it's such a simple card, such a simple design. The border needs just a little something. And oftentimes when I'm looking for that, I turn to one of my very favorite background stamps from Simon Says Stamp, the diagonal stripes. It is perfect if you want to do a contrasting color. It is perfect if you want to do tone on tone like I'm doing here. So I am inking this up with blue violet Simon Says Stamp ink. So it perfectly matches the cardstock and it's going to give a tone on tone look. If you don't have the same color of ink as cardstock, you can always use Versamark for a watermark look. I'm going to ink that, press it down. I remove the foam insert from the MISTI, pressing this stamp in place. And I instantly have this tone-on-tone stripe background that I think adds so much interest to the card. So I'm going to attach my panel to the mat that I've just stamped. Again, lining it up with the left side of this, so only 3 sides of it are actually matted. And then I got a little bit of ink there at the top of the card. The mono eraser is fantastic for removing little things like that, so I used it right away. And then what I love to do, especially I've noticed when I color something with watercolors of any kind, I love the Morning Dew Nouveau Crystal Drops to create those little dewdrops all over a card. So in different sizes all over the panel, I am adding these Morning Dew Nouveau Crystal Drops. They're going to dry pretty translucent. However, it's not completely clear. It's not like glossy accents. You would get a very similar look with glossy accents if you wanted to use it. Or the Nouveau Crystal Glaze is completely clear as well. But this has just a hint of a little bit of color in it when it dries. And I very much love the dewdrop look of it. I have all my dewdrops now. I am going to pick a card base for this card. Now you could definitely do a side fold card base like this card here and just have it matted and coming in from the side. However, I think a top fold card base is going to work so much better. Flip it on its side though and have it open like a book. Just a little bit different presentation for a top fold card. So it's going to be a landscape style card on a top fold card base. Thanks for joining me today for this card featuring the wplus9 STAMPtember stamp set, Humble and Kind. The supplies I used to create this card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Simon Says stamps and dies that you might be interested in. Please subscribe for weekly card making and stamping videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.